Hello everyone, welcome. My name is MJ Pestridge. Welcome to this is a Windows video, and this is a bit of a emergency action Windows video, but it really does pertain to P3D, but it really actually pertains to your hard drives on your PC. Now, not everybody's going to have this problem, and it's mainly, the reason is because it's mainly down to Windows updates. So if you've recently updated in the last couple of weeks, you may find that you've had crashes to desktops more often in the last 2 weeks than any other time, or you may find that you haven't, but nonetheless things have changed on Windows 10 in a recent update. I personally have Windows updates turned off completely all year round. Well, until I personally want to update it. So if we go into my task manager, we bring it up here. My services Windows update is stopped, and it only updates when I allow it to update. I've spoken with Microsoft engineers, and they say it's absolutely fine to update like 3 or 4 times a year, rather than the weekly updates Windows 10 tries to push in. Usually, because my PC is really aimed at being a FLIGHTSIM PC, I only update Windows when I need to update my FLIGHTSIM, just to make sure everything's in line. And I generally don't have issues relating to Windows. As well as that, I have permissions on my hard drive set to everyone, so the information of data can flow freely around the PC as fast as it needs to, which is crucial in flight simulation. But like I said, I last week I updated Windows, and ever since then I have been getting more crashes in my sim, more issues with texturing problems, and I reinstalled my sim recently to find not every file or folder was actually installed correctly. There were a lot of files missing, and it may be partly due to the developers have left out files, but I think it's also down to the fact that Windows, when you install anything onto your C drive or any drive, if permissions aren't set correctly, then the installation can actually go wrong and you not know about it. Certain files or folders won't be written to the drive when they need to be, or they'll be written with locked off permissions, and so when you try and access, it goes access denied. And in flight simulation, if any file gets access denied, that can be very crucial for when you're actually trying to load up things, because if a crucial file is needed and it doesn't have access, goodbye simulator, it's just going to crash out on you. So basically this is why I have everyone set to, permission set to everyone on my C drive. If we go into the properties here, go to sharing, I make sure it's shared, and in advanced sharing, make sure everyone has full control, change and readability in my sim. And in the past, that has been fine. Until recently, where I've actually had to go into the security for it to make sure that it's a group policy as well, that everyone is ticked here, and that is now fine. But recently now, it isn't. And even if it's in the group policy here and it says this folder, subfolders and files, it doesn't actually mean they are. Okay, basically I have to go back now to reapply all these security settings for permissions to all my drives. So that's basically what I'm going to show you in this video. I'm going to take this FLIGHTSIM drive here, and if we have a look at it, and this is probably what you'll find on your drive, it's not shared, and it doesn't allow you to share it either. So first off, we have to allow that to happen. The shared, we have to make sure everyone is here. If everyone isn't here, there is something you need to do first. You need to go into security, you need to go to advanced, and you need to set up the group policy. So go into effective access, change whatever the owner says here, and type in the word everyone. Check name, okay. Now everyone is there. Back to effective access. So now we need to set the user group to everyone. Now I've already done this, so that's why you saw the word everyone as an option before. Make sure that it all is green here, and if it is red, then basically you need to apply it and come back in and make sure it is green. Go to auditing. There should be one already here, but we'll just set it if it isn't. Everyone. Check names, click OK, and then make sure all these boxes are ticked. Do not tick this box. You want success, fail, all. This folder, subfile, folders, and files. Click OK, and when you go to permissions, it should be set up here. Beautiful. Click apply. Now you might get some errors pop up saying page system files, saying that you don't have access to certain folders, and that is fine if they are system related folders. But if they're not system related folders and they are actual folders that you've created, then that is a problem. So this one here, system volume information access denied, that's fine. But if it's a folder you have created, it isn't fine. There we go. I've just now taken ownership of that. Beautiful. Now that we've done that, this should now appear here, and you should be able to tick everything here. Going here, you should be able to come in here and then share this, and that everyone should be there. And then you can tick all them, click apply, click OK, click apply, click OK, and now it is finally shared. And now everybody on your PC and all your apps have access to this drive. So before you do anything, before you even reinstall your simulator, I would make sure your permissions are just set them to everyone, because even if you install it on a different drive or outside of the program files, Windows will change the policy, and soon every folder will need its own set permissions by the PC rather than by the installer. And so if you set everyone as permissions access for everything, you'll never have an issue. As long as you do have that set for everyone, things will install fine. So please go and change your permissions now to avoid crashes, texture loading problems, or just general problems in your simulator, because no matter where you install it, it's going to have changed for the access to it. Also, one quick thing to note about this permissions thing, like I said before, it doesn't matter if you put, your P3D installation on any drive or inside program files or outside program files. It's now a individual permissions thing. This is going to cause so many problems. It's actually going to cause CPU and GPU problems, because as your CPU is the one who is trying to, sort of work to gain permissions on a certain file that it's being denied on, that's CPU cycles that are being wasted from your sim, and so your CPU could end up throttling on a particular file that eventually your sim it's a crucial file that it needs, and it will crash out. If your GPU doesn't have full access, then your full power of your GPU is not being utilized. Your VRAM in your sim might only go up to a certain amount, and you're like, hey, you've got more ability than that, dude. It's like it has a knock-on effect on everything on your system, and it's probably why so many bloody games have updates, over and over again. But it's like, just blanket everybody with everyone permission, and you will not have issues or problems. I recommend going through and doing this to every drive on your hard drive on your PC, making sure that this says shared, that here is ticked where it says share this folder, that all the permissions for everyone in this group policy here is set to everyone and all those boxes are ticked. And if it isn't, go into here, make sure these are all ticked. And if it isn't, go into advanced and actually set up the system of permissions by changing the owner to everyone, selecting a user to add the group policy of everyone. Got to spell it right first though. Click check name so it's got an underline on it, and then click OK. Make sure it's all green ticks here, and you'll have then the auditing here. Click share, full control, permissions, OK. Beautiful. Then it'll come up here, and then it'll come up here shared. Beautiful. That one's set up. Now with the C drive, it's a little different because there are folders on here that, even though it says shared, and even though it's shared here with everyone and everything's ticked, and even when you have everyone in the security tab here with all the right tick boxes, and even when you go into here and it says this, doesn't actually mean it's going to translate down to the other folders, especially these three here. And this happens. These three here are the most crucial ones, and especially for P3D, there are folders and files within these three folders that have FLIGHTSIM folders inside of them. Now, the Microsoft FLIGHTSIM, suspiciously enough, isn't actually located in any of these three folders, but the permissions for these three folders has been reset in the recent Windows update, and it is really impossible to reset them back to what they should be, or what I believe they should be, in terms of sharing the folder properly with everyone. Because if you do try and do it, if I go try and here, and let's see here, if we actually try and, let's remove that and we'll re-add it here. And if I try this, it will tell me access denied on so many folders within. So click all that. We want allow this folder, subfolders and files, click OK, and then click apply. We're about to change everything, we know that. Click yes. That's fine. That's fine. Recycle bin's fine. There should only be one recycle bin, not numerous ones, so that's weird. The logs, or anything that says system, it's fine. There should only be about 10 of these to click, but in the recent Windows updates, there's a lot more. And it then starts to leak into folders that I have installed or created on the C drive as well. So all these numbered, these are updates. So it's not allowing me access to a lot of window update folders. This one is an installation that I've put in, access denied, but it's an adware cleaner for, you know, quarantine of viruses, understandable. Configs for the system, understandable. But there's a lot more now. Here we go. Now it's starting to reset. Here we go. This one. It's not allowing me access to this folder, which I've installed myself into this. This should already have its permission set. So now I have to basically go into this location to change the permissions for this one particular folder. So we can just actually cancel that out, cancel, and then go into and find FSPS. Here it is. And click properties and make sure this is a shared, it's not shared, make sure it's a shared folder. Now sometimes when you click this, it won't actually do anything. It'll basically, you know, spaz out on you, right? And that's when you need to go into advanced sharing to click share and kind of like overwrite it. Everyone, apply, okay, apply, okay. And now it says shared. It should be able to come up here. You do need it set in here. Even though it says shared, you need to tell it to share it with who? Who are you sharing it with? Right, so we need to go into security, make sure everyone is selected here, which it is. So all the tick boxes, but you'll notice that they're grayed out. Okay, so we need to make sure that that isn't grayed out. So we go in here, we change the access to everyone. Okay, Go back to effective access, select the user. So we want everyone. And when I say everyone, basically, I mean everyone who you install or allow on your PC. I don't mean people from the internet. This does not mean people are going to start hacking you or anything like that. It doesn't mean that at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to disable the inheritance on all this, remove that entry, and re-add it, because that, I believe, is the old one, which will have problems with its subfolders if I do that. So we want all, folder, subfolder, and files. Click OK. Make sure the share is full control. Make sure that is there. Disable the inheritance. Add it again. And basically, this is what you have to do on every folder that you're having this issue with. Allow, OK, and then apply, and it should now come up with no problems. Like, there we go. Beautiful. Now if we go back to the C drive and do that exact same thing, the FSPS won't actually be one of those that, you know, comes up here now. So if we click continue on all this and skip past all these ones that now Windows have deemed. So here we go. So now it should, FSPS should not be, because what it is, it's going through the list of all the folders contained within. And as soon as it goes past the Fs, there we go. So there, now it's come to the immersive audio folder. So we clear out of this and we now go back in here, and it's literally the next, see, it's going through all these, it's literally the next folder down. So you literally have to go down all these folders to reset the permissions to allow your C drive to have the correct permissions. And this is the one problem I believe everybody is having, especially with P3D, who installs its essential, crucial folders into these three locations: program data, program files. Program data especially, it has crucial CFG files that if it doesn't have access to because it's being denied, boom. Now when you reinstall anything, you know, you'll notice how it said trusted installer on the the user group. When you use a new installer, it should automatically give those permissions in. But if the way Windows has changed its group policy has changed, the installer will not set the correct permissions. Hence all these crashes and issues within P3D. Hence me making this video to show you how to do it. So program data, basically go click on properties. We first start here to make sure this is shared. It won't have it here, so that's a rip. So we need to come in here to make sure it says share folder, permissions, 3 ticks for everyone. That one, remove. We only want everyone here. Click apply. Click apply and then go to security. Make sure it's here. Make sure it's not grayed out. Click OK. Go into advanced. Go into effective access. Make sure it says everyone. Now we can select the user. Everyone. Check the names. OK. Make sure it's all the greens down the board. Beautiful. Then continue, and we only really want to see one of these. So let's remove both just to be sure. Disable the inheritance, and we're going to re-add it. Everyone, check names, OK. Make sure the boxes are ticked. We want all selected there. Folder, subfolders, and files. Click OK. Go to share. Make sure that says full control. Beautiful. Permissions. Let's remove both of these. Click OK. Oh, disable the inheritance first. Remove all inherited permissions. Beautiful. Now we can re-add it with the everyone has access. Click. Make sure it says allow. Click OK. Click apply. And now this one folder and everything within, except for a couple of maybe system folders, which is understandable, should now be shared. Now again, if you see any folders in here that you have installed personally, you have two choices of either going into that folder now and setting the permissions for each of those programs that pops up, because again, it's going through all your folders one by one. Now, anything that says Microsoft, you can leave. Access denied. I ain't bothered about that. But anything that I have personally installed myself should not be coming up in this list of errors. Okay, it should only be system files or system folders that show up. So we have to hit continue a lot, and it's going through literally every bloody folder. Anyway, I'm going to come back if we do see one. There we go. It's going through. There we go. It's going through all of them now. Program data. And there it's cleared off. Now that has set properly. That has now set properly. Sharing. That is now shared. And we can now add everyone here. Everyone add. It's there. Share. And now everything in program data is properly shared. Whew. That is how you do that. So what happens when you come into the security area here, and in this group usernames here, you've got all these other ones, and you click edit, and it doesn't actually allow you to add anything, you know. What do you do? In this instance, you have to add the group policy first. So first off, we change the owner to everyone, and make sure back in effective access, we select the user and select that to everyone. And then make sure, see, now these are all red X's, which you might come across. So in auditing, we need to first off disable the inheritance, and then add the everyone policy to say, yo, Windows, I want everybody to have full control. Modify all these. Don't tick that one. Make sure this says all. This folder's subtitles and folders. Click OK. Then click on share. That should say that. And then in permissions, if there is already a everyone in here, then basically you want to remove it. But back in effective access, once you click apply now, it'll now redo all the permissions. I believe this is the one reason why, especially in P3D, where I've put all my main files, some files are not getting access to, causing problems in the sim, like either textures aren't loading it. There we go, just taking ownership. So once we back out of this and go back in, now I can change the permissions. And if we select a user here for everyone, it should say, although I didn't click OK, everyone, share, everyone, permissions, add, select the principal, everyone, check names, full control, allow, that's it, OK. Then that is now in there. Apply. You get some of these errors pop up. That's fine, as long as no folders that I've put in there have that error. Then that is fine for the system to have their own errors. So now this should now give me the green ticks in effective access, and that's basically what you're looking for. The effective access is the important box. If you've got green ticks in there, you have shared that folder correctly. And for me, like I would honestly, although I don't want to nuke it, but I personally would only have everyone, like, get rid of all this other stuff. Like all of these other ones can just go bye-bye, because I've set it to everyone. So you don't need restricted app packages or users or administrators or system or whatever. It's just everyone's got access. Everyone's got full control. And some might say, well, hang on, you're opening yourself up here to real big problems. Well, in actual fact, no, you're not, because I'm not installing dodgy software onto my PC. I'm not putting on hackware or scamware or whatever it's called, you know. So, yeah, I know it's on my PC. So it's completely secure and safe. It's just meaning the environment within my PC can talk freely. Okay, basically have to do it for every folder first. Now, there's a quick shortcut around this. Reinstall Windows completely, and when you install, make sure you click the share personal files, and it will automatically give all those inherited permissions on your C drive. Or, you know, don't share, and then you have to come in and do it yourself, but do it before you install anything. And that way you won't have all these problems of errors popping up. The more things you have on your PC, the more folders you have installed here, the more you have to go into each folder first to set the local policy for that folder before it'll allow the C drive to inherit all the permissions for all the folders here. Okay? I hope this has been clear for you guys, but this basically what I'm showing in this video is the one sole reason why in P3D especially everyone's having crashes, problems with their sim, errors popping up, and just general hurricane of information. Now, again, like I said, you know, not everyone will have this issue. It depends really on if you've updated your PC Windows, you know, recently in the last week or so. Like, this could have happened like months ago, and I've only just updated mine. This is why I only update every so often. Now, I've got a video showing you how to update in the future. In early March, it's going to show you how to disable Windows Update, so you can instigate Windows Update when you want to, and you can fly in your sim without any problems whatsoever. But this is the one reason I believe everybody is having problems. When the Windows permissions thing has changed, I don't know exactly when, but a recent update that I installed nuked all my permissions, basically reset everything. And again, I'm having loads of people feedback to me the same information on their systems, especially with their controls have been reset. A lot of things have been reset. You basically, after any Windows update, go over your PC and make sure that nothing has changed in terms of the settings, because it will retick certain things or reset certain things, and you just want to make sure that nothing has changed, or you have to change it then. Okay, thank you so much for watching. That's basically it. Any questions, put them down below, and I'll answer them. There's a link down to my Discord if you have any questions. And for P3D users or for any FLIGHTSIM user, I'm giving away €50 every single month. To be in with a chance to win at the end of this month, all you have to do is be a subscriber to my channel, leave a comment down below, and in the month or at the end of the month, I will choose one lucky winner, and I will announce that during my vlogs at the end of the month. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Take care, and I'll see you in the future. Bye-bye.